Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Nation's Corner Special Edition. All right, it's not a special edition, it's just Saturday. Tonight, we're joined by Tony Justice, the greatest truck driver of all time, all the way to Mongrovian Mike from Mongrovian, Long Island. And, of course, John in South Jersey, who's pretty much everywhere. He's a man of the people. You'll see him pretty much every independent show north of Virginia, I think, these days.
Seems like it. Well, a little on hiatus.
Here we go. Acknowledging John. Oh, Tony. A little late there.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Okay.
Yeet.
I'll take a yeet.
I told you stop saying that.
Yeah, but do you remember when I grinded my feet on your couch?
Yeah. Buy another one.
Awesome.
All right.
Good.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. I see people filing in. We've got Deb's out there, very own Debhausen, who's out on assignment. She's got some stuff going on this weekend. Much love and our best wishes to Deb and her family. Mrs. Front Row is in the chat. RA is in the chat. Tony, you're in the chat. Wait a minute. What's up with that?
Yes, I am. I'm everywhere.
You're everywhere. No, that's John. John's everywhere. We just covered this.
Yeah, we just said that. Quit. All right.
Watch the product.
Yep.
Hey, yo, you're getting that cease and desist in the mail. Gimmick infringement. It's a real thing, sir. My advice is
He's everywhere, but I've been everywhere, man.
Okay. That's a fair point.
Yeah.
We'll allow it.
Okay. All right. You kind of got me on that one.
Okay, man, we got a ton of stuff to talk about. It has been an eventful week. Before we get it, well, just a couple things.
A couple
two, three things.
Things may be happening, but
things may be happening. No news this week. I mean, it's a pretty slow week on Twitter.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. But before we jump into all the big stuff that happened on TV, wanted to talk about two of our favorite local promotions or independent promotions, I should say. Obviously, Mission Pro Wrestling, Mrs. Front Row and I and others in the group are part of the team. John is a big part of CCW and everything cool that's happening there. So we're going to give you guys just sort of a brief rundown of what's going on. And I'll just kick it off with Mission Pro Wrestling's Thriller next weekend, a week from this very moment. Wait, is that Walk Like an Egyptian or Thriller? I can't.
It's supposed to be the beginning of Thriller, but okay. I can never quite hit the open, but I get the bass line right.
Okay, that makes sense. So October 21st, 6 p.m. Central Bell Time. If you're in the San Antonio area, make sure you get tickets at missionprowrestling.com. If you're not, make sure you give us watch the show on titlematchnetwork.com. It's going to be a really cool show. A lot of fun matches announced. Black Swan has accepted JP Harlow's open casket challenge and will be in a casket match with JP Harlow. Tiffany Nieves will be defending her Mission Pro title against Christina Marie. A little bit of interesting crossover there for you folks that are paying attention. We have Maya World, who's looking to continue her undefeated streak against Izzy Moreno, who is looking to get her first Mission Pro win. So that's going to be an interesting matchup as well, because on socials, we've seen Izzy has a lot of support from some pretty prominent names. But on the other side, Maya's got a lot of support from one Mercedes Monet and a few other prominent names. So, like, a lot of people are paying attention to that match, and it's going to be an awesome show. I'm super excited, and we'll be there in San Antonio live. So we will try to post some stuff on the socials. Make sure you stay tuned to the Mission Pro socials as well for all the cool stuff that's going on. Johnny, what do you guys have going on?
Oh, God. We are just coming off of last Saturday was our latest shows for both Capital Championship Wrestling and Venom Championship Wrestling. We presented Misery for Capital Championship Wrestling and Nightmare for Venom.
Misery.
And as you get, and Nightmare. And top to bottom was a fantastic show. And it will be available. We had some production difficulties that we weren't able to live stream, but the actual full replay of the show will be available on Title Match very soon, I am told. So, but we had absolutely a fabulous card, both BCW and shout out to, thank you, Neil, for putting that in the chat. Shout out to Too Sweet Neil. Shout out to our own Deb Housen and her boyfriend, Seth Moyer, who were in live and attending the show. It was our first show at the not quite world famous, but getting there, Mecca in Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. And for those not aware, I am currently not as mobile as I would like to be, so I was not able to attend the show, which I was reminded by my partner, Marcello Squirewell, the owner of CCW. It was the first show I completely missed live in over 3.5 years. So, wow. But regardless, fantastic card, top to bottom. Just a quick review of VCW, and an absolute banger of a culmination of a feud. We had Kaya McKenna, the Good Witch, versus the always trending Paris Van Dale, and they were the main event of Venom, and absolutely was 100% the best match of the Venom matches. And also, since we probably talk about later, but friend of the Nation's Corner, friend of ours, and especially that creepy old guy up in Long Island there by way of Monrovia, the one and only, the Nomi, our homie Gabby Forza, and Nat Castle. And I got it right that time, Elder. So don't look at me like that. I got it right this time.
Listen, she's a spiff, man. She's a hot little Latina that's gonna will blow like a firecracker. She's crazy, man. She ain't taking no crap.
Yeah, but those two, is their also their debut in Venom Championship Wrestling in Capital, and put on a fantastic match. But the main parts was Misery, and highlighted by our first ever Iron Woman 60-minute time limit match between our champion, Christina Marie. Wait, we heard that name already. We heard that name already.
That's called a callback.
Yeah. But our the CCW champion Christina Marie, and our newly crowned title match network champion Ultraviolet, and it was actually for Ultraviolet's title, which after a very intense, very physical 48-minute match, Ultra was able to secure the pin and win and retain her title. Stay tuned on that one, folks. I don't think that one is done yet. We also had our global fighting champion, Rebecca J. Scott, who, by the way, belated happy birthday to her. Her birthday was yesterday. She took on a visiting Brooke Havoc, and again, very entertaining match. RJS, I love how she wrestles. Just her attitude stinks, and she knows it. And I've told her that many times. But she retains. And in a bit of a switch, our tag team champions, we owe her nothing. Our tag team champions, The Awakening, Brittany Blake and Vita Von Star, were actually in a 6-woman match with a team that gained a new member in Team Monster Factory, which is Notorious Mimi, Gabby Ortiz, and La Chica, Clara Carenas. And absolutely just another banger of a match that, again, stay tuned. I don't think that one is done either. But overall, great live crowd, great show, great in they were fully engaged and hot the whole time. And we get to do it all again November the 18th. Capital Championship Wrestling. We don't stop. We don't quit. We are back at the Mecca Saturday, November 18th, as Capital Championship Wrestling presents Glory. And tickets are on sale now, and we have a special discount up until November 1st. if you buy your tickets online now, you can go to the CCW socials to get the ticket link. You get $5 off of your purchase, but that's only until November 1st. After that, you're paying regular prices and, of course, at the door. And we're in the process now of finishing up the card, and it's going to be yet another solid top to bottom card courtesy of Championship Wrestling.
Awesome.
Nice.
You guys always put on some great shows. I'm looking forward to all you guys are bringing to the table. I'm looking forward to watching the replay once it's up on Title Match. There's so much stuff going on, and I almost forgot to mention Mission Pro will be at WrestleCade this year. I think this is the first year we're going to have an official table. We have some very, very special guests that are going to be at the table on Saturday. We haven't announced them yet, but stay tuned. I'd say probably this week you'll start to hear a little bit more about the folks that are going to be at our table. If you are going to WrestleCade, that's going to be November 25th, the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Come by and say hi, and I promise it will be worth your while.
Real quick, front row, correct me if I'm wrong. Both of our promotions have some talent that's going to be involved in the Ladies' Night Out.
Who's to say?
Yeah.
It's a maybe.
It's at best. But, you may, if you are fans of our promotions, folks, and you tune into the Ladies' Night Out portion of the wrestling card at WrestleCade, you'll probably, you just might see some names and people you know.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Nice.
So check all that stuff out. It's going to be super fun. Appreciate you, John. We love supporting our friends. Everybody's doing some cool stuff. All right, let's dive into the week that was the insanity of AEW, WWE. Like, so much stuff happened this week. Tony, where do you want to start? Do you want to start the Tuesday Night War? Oh, what's Mike doing?
What did you do?
What are you doing?
Did I hit something wrong? Sorry.
Yeah, you fumbled around and hit something.
Yeah.
Do you have to touch every button? Everyone?
Just sit still.
Yeah.
Just
I have to.
Don't make me come back there.
I have to always pop my daughter in her and my future son-in-law by doing something that I don't mean to do. So
it's not hard.
There you go.
No, sit on your hands. After all this time, you still don't know what to do with your hands.
Damn dummy. Yeah.
After all this time, you don't know what to do with your hands.
Speaking about what about that LA Night Pop?
Wow,
man.
My God, it was a night of pops.
So let's get there in a second, because I have a ton of questions I want to ask you guys about SmackDown. SmackDown was like a story factory. Like so much stuff came out of last night. But I just want to stick with Tuesday for a second, because I had to choose. Like some people can watch both shows. I don't have that. I don't have the ability to switch back and forth because I'll lose something. I won't be able to pay attention. So I made the decision to watch NXT. I'm more of a WWE person. I like both brands, but the star power and the stories going into NXT on Tuesday made me stick and stay there. I think they did an amazing job of having some really big names on the show that still managed to elevate talent and didn't just overshadow people.
Right.
I don't know if you guys thought the same, Mike.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, just John Cena. You know what really what stuck with me out of all the interactions was when Cena was in the back talking with Mello and Trick, and then Mello walked up and said good luck, and he saw the look on Trick's face, and he said, "You got anything else? You know, you come talk with me." Like, like Mello had like it's so cool. In other words, it's like, wow. It's showing the young talent actually asking a vet, which is something that, what they think, and that's something that might probably should happen in real life.
So do you think that was in reference to the ongoing conversation that we've been hearing on Busted
But
Open?
that's like a little peek behind the curtain.
He's Max Headroom tonight.
Yeah,
he is breaking up a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, no. If it gets any worse, I'll disappear and come back on my phone. So be ready to let me back in. Yeah. What was the question again? Did I think it was a reference to what?
Do you think that it was a reference to the conversation that Busted Open's been having about talent seeking out the advice of veterans? Like, because that happens in NXT pretty regularly, we're told, right? From the interviews that we've heard with NXT superstars, they really, they are coached by some of the best in the business. But I thought that the fact that they did that segment with John was a bit of a reference for the people who are paying attention.
Yeah, it was definitely a peek behind the curtain, and it was definitely you know what, WWE, that's their culture there anyway. They encourage that, and they want that. And that's why even someone like someone on the outside, like a Dave, who goes to the performance center and sees what goes on there, he can't say anything bad about it. Everything is so positive there to
remix.
Yeet.
Oh, John Basis, don't let him back in.
It seems like technology might just take care of that for us.
But you know what's funny about that is, like, John Cena, and we've heard from people like Enzo and other people in NXT have said, John Cena had regularly gone to NXT behind the scenes, agenting, coaching, producing, like just given a lot of his own personal time to help in NXT. And he was never on NXT TV. It was always just backstage stuff that we heard through interviews and that stuff. So I thought that was super cool that, even though he was on TV for the first time, it's not his first time in the Performance Center from a coaching perspective. Yeah, and a lot of the veterans do that. We've seen Undertaker coached up people like Damian Priest and Baron Corbin and a few other big names, right? So, all right, let's let Elder back in here, see if we can get him in here. Oh,
I'm back.
Oh, no.
Here, I'll put you up here so the logo looks better. Here we go.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's interesting. But we also saw, obviously, Undertaker. It was cool to see him, but I don't know that it was really necessary. It was clearly just to get more people to watch the show. I don't think it was necessary to the story. Like, John Cena elevated the story. Paul Heyman elevated that story. LA Knight being out there was fun, but not necessary. So a lot of that to me was just bells and whistles to get people to tune in, which clearly they did. So,
oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, the Undertaker elevated Braun Breaker's ass up about 6-7 feet. So
yeah,
had that.
And I do agree. I do agree with Mrs. Brown. It was a bit overkill. It was fun. Like, I mean, I'm not going to complain about those things. It was really cool to watch. Like, we knew Undertaker was going to be there because of the gong and the commercial. So I didn't know what capacity.
Everybody, stop pissing in mine and Dave LaGreca's cornflakes, okay?
No handcuff for you. No handcuff for you.
That wasn't the Undertaker. That was the American.
I feel like
badass.
Scott waiting for a party.
Yeah. Yep,
So
keep waiting.
So how many 4th of July fireworks shows have y'all been to where, you go to the fireworks show and, they're popping off here, popping off there, but at the end, it's the finale, right? They put everything in the thing and they just send it all up.
Yeah.
That's what NXT was Tuesday. WWE put everything in the can and just let it go. And I mean, it worked. It got people to stick and stay. I mean, I watched NXT on my iPad and I watched AEW on my phone and I was on Zoom on my computer in the truck. So, I mean, I had it all going on. And I wish I had an extra device to take a picture of it all just to say, this is how I'm attacking it tonight. Like I posted on Twitter the other day. It took me back to the dual VCR days. Tuesday night did. Because back in the day, it was either you flipping the channels or you have two TVs with two different VCRs if you tape each episode like I did, I mean, yeah, it was definitely fun for me. And I know it was fun for all of us to have that have that happen Tuesday night. I know it can't happen every week, but it was definitely fun this week.
Nice little bit of nostalgia.
I had both going. I had one on my one TV, one on the other. So both on both big screens. It was nice. I kept the AEW on the closed caption, reading what was going on and watching and listening to what was going on, because let's be honest, you got to listen more. You got to listen to what they're doing on the WWE. On that, you can watch and pretty much see what's going on. And then, of course, on the important things, I know, what's MJF saying and whatnot. But that's it.
Yeah, I think there's some validity to what Dave and Bullies talked about this week. AEW gives us some amazing matches, but a lot of the stuff there is matches for the sake of matches' sake.
Yeah,
especially if you watch Rampage this week. But I do think that WWE, especially SmackDown wise, everything on Tuesday night had stories attached to it, and everything on Friday night had stories that were furthered. You had this incredible moment where Triple H is sort of making fun of the crowd noise and how the IWC likes to say it's pumped in, and he's making reference to that. And then I laughed.
Funny.
It was amazing.
Mm-hmm. That was the pumped in sound. That was a good line. That was really good. I had that. I took a little bit of notes actually from Row, and I famously take zero notes, but I had that written down in there.
Man.
Down. Triple H with that pumping noise. That was such and that was off the cuff too, man.
Wow, I was so ready to drop the John Cena. That is bullshit. But
that's why I ripped it out and showed the proof. Because
wow.
If you want a copy of Elder's notes, just email us at thenationscorner@gmail.com.
Let me read over my notes for everybody.
Let me read my notes.
Tulsa, Oklahoma. Shout out to R.A. and Okie. I wrote down yeet, so I'd remember to say that. I said yeet already. I mentioned the LA Pop, yeah.
But I think it's important. You were talking about the LA Night Pop, and it would be really easy for a guy like that to be overshadowed on Friday night with everything else that was going on. You had Triple H going in there making announcements with Adam Pearce. We had the introduction of Nick Aldis as the new general manager of SmackDown. Super happy about that. We had the opportunity to spend time with Nick in the NWA. We've been a big fan of him as the national treasure and the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion. I think what they were talking about this morning, Mark was saying, Nick is going to be the kind of authority figure that you're not going to roll. He's a big dude, he's an accomplished wrestler, and no one's going to be pushing him around. And if you've ever spoken to Nick or seen him on TV, he's snarky and he's very quick-witted. So you're not going to, it's going to be a fun ride, I think.
Yeah. I think it's a great move for WWE.
Yeah,
it really is. It's going to be amazing because you could really put storyline in with it, and he could still throw down Adam Pearce can take a bump here and there, but if need be, Nick can get in there and still go.
So John, I got to ask you, because you're a fan of the history of this sport, right? Mm-hmm. So now we have Adam Pearce, 5-time NWA World Champion, running Raw. We have Nick Aldis, multi-time champion, and had a streak of, I think it was 1,044 days as champion. Now he's running SmackDown. And then we saw this great moment with Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes facing off on the ramp, and Nick gets in the middle of them, and Nick's as big as either one of them, maybe even a little bit bigger. But Nick and Cody have this story that if they want to tell or bring in their NWA history,
their
totally
absolutely
different ways.
Yeah, they could go at any point in a number of different ways, and that's why I was very glad to see Nick on TV last night. Now, we have known he has been working backstage at WWE for a little while now, but for them to kind of move him up to this role, I think it's win-win all the way around, because Nick is now to boil WWE only fans, they may not know exactly who Nick Aldis is. We're all aware of exactly who Nick is and what he brings and his accomplishments in his career, from Impact to NWA and now this with WWE. So I'm excited to see what they do with it, because there is literally a very large bag they can pull from of things to involve Nick with.
John, I think that's another wrinkle in the Cody Rhodes finishing the storyline, because you guys know I said they strategically placed him months ago, getting that backstage, that leaving the arena interview with Triple H's head right above him on the truck. And then there was that little exchange with him when he was injured. They said, "Don't do the match," and Triple H, "Okay, you want it?" and patted him on his leg, and just gave that Triple H look, that cerebral assassin look. And now you have, wow, just imagine, wow, he was traded to SmackDown. Now let me send another general manager in there. Look at that. Nick
Interesting.
Interesting. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Hey.
I'm just thinking, because they want to get this stretched out, and everybody's going, "Oh my God, oh, they got their hair on fire. Oh, he's got the tag team belts. What does that mean? That means he's not going for the championship?" You friggin' idiots! Calm the hell down, man. The head of the table storyline's going on 3 years already.
Right.
What the hell we want to rush Cody's story for?
Tell him, Mike, go yeet yourselves.
Yeah, really. Take a Cody belt and strap yourself with it.
I thought it was really cool, because we were talking about that last night as we were watching SmackDown, and then Mark Henry mentioned today that his theory is that Roman sent Jay as a secret operative, sort of to befriend Cody, take the tag team titles, and then take Cody out from within, essentially stop him from ever getting on the road to facing Roman, which could be a whole other wrinkle, and we'll see how that goes. But I loved all of that stuff, and of course we go backstage, and Nick Aldis is talking to Charlotte Flair. She wants a title match next week for the world title, and they pan to the left, and there's Jade Cargill, and Jade Cargill is standing toe to toe, same height, same stature with the Queen. And we all understand that Jade probably isn't. Yeah. And Triple H just kind of like smiles from around the corner.
Yeah. Yep. That was awesome. That was a great
cool moment.
That was probably the most impactful, just a visual of the entire SmackDown show. But and a couple things, it definitely to me was even though it was probably the shortest, it was the most standout segment of SmackDown last night. And again, it's how WWE works and develops things. There were no words, no physicality, no nothing.
No, John, I call it the night. I wrote it down here too. Night of stand downs. It was a night of stand downs. And it was. And it was perfect.
And yes, and one brief observation after seeing Charlotte and Jade, them wearing heels, they're both about 8.5 feet tall. And
towering over
just they had that visual of Charlotte and Zelina after Zelina's match with Bayley, and it almost looked cartoonish. Now, I granted, Zelina Vega is not a very tall girl to begin with. She's a little spicy Latina firecracker, no doubt. But like I said, it almost looked comical. She barely came up to Charlotte's waist. Now, of course, Charlotte, being the queen, comes out and shout and again, just because, shout out to all the female wrestlers that can not only get in and out of the ring and navigate in a ring in these ridiculously large and high heel shoes, but actually, even in Charlotte's case, do physicality with it as well. Because I'm sorry. That's not easy for anybody. Just look at how goofy Seth Rollins looked in them platform boots on Raw Monday, trying to just walk around and/or trying to dance to the song that Mike loves so much. He sings it in the shower every day.
No.
Yes, you do. You absolutely sing it in the shower every day. But again, that
I'm always going something, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. Now we're going to hear from John Silver. Thanks, Elton. Great. Great. Anyway,
but you're right, John. She actually ran to the ring in 6-inch heels.
Yes,
ran to the ring and then jumped in. There was physicality, all that stuff, and it's like, how do you like kill yourself on the way to the ring? But she did it.
Freaking Adam Cole can't even run to the ring in sneakers without breaking his freaking ankle.
Destroying his ankle.
Really, no, I'm not making fun of him, but it's like those were sneakers. I mean, that lady was in those, and they were spikes. They weren't like platform shoes like Seth had. They were just a thin spike. I mean, one snap, and I mean, wow, that could have been like a friggin' Sid Vicious thing happening there.
In fairness to Adam Cole, he jumped off the ramp and landed wrong. He wasn't running to the ring. So, and if you guys saw the WWE exclusive on social media today, Kevin Owens gave him a shout out. He said, "I'd like to send my best wishes to my friend Adam, who's had a major surgery. We're all pulling for you." It was like a 30-second video, and it was no other purpose for the video. They just posted it with Kevin Owens giving a shout out to Adam Cole. He didn't say Cole, but he said my friend Adam, which is really cool.
Yeah.
He's in on that work?
Yeah. Apparently. But and also quick shout out to the newest member of Friday Night SmackDown, Kevin Owens. Which they finally kind of finished the story of Cody bringing Jimmy Uso back, or Jay back, and we're trading someone to SmackDown, and that's who it is. I'm a little sad because I think they had a little more mileage with Sammy and KO, and yes, I'll be a mark just because it's such a part of my history. Just one time, just a real little subtle thing. Have Sammy wearing a hoodie or a jacket or something, and pull a red mask out, and Kevin Owens look at him and say, what is that? What are you doing with that? Oh, I found it. I haven't worn this hoodie in a long time. And that, I always secretly I wanted to see that because Viva El Generico. But again, here's yet another person that has history with the bloodline, and as Mark Henry has called it, the gravitational pull of Roman Reigns and the bloodline. Here's yet another guy and another story that they can go off on or continue or something to keep, with Kevin. And that is pretty much, again, here's another aspect of it. But that mask, thank you, front row. Viva El Generico. And I'll try to be as brief as possible, and that just popped the shit out of me. Absolutely. El Generico, and another lifetime in another place called Ring of Honor, you had Kevin Owens, aka Kevin Steen, which is his real name. He wrestled under his real name, and Sami Zayn, who wrestled. Why you gotta do that? Why that?
You will see question mark people if you watch tomorrow on the Creative Pro YouTube channel. You will see question mark sitting in the front row. I gave him my seat for a little while.
All the way from Mongrovian
when I went to the bathroom.
Nice. And here's a little inside joke for me in front row. Man, I wonder who covered the travel on that. But anyway, real quick. Yeah, and Sammy wrestled like every night in that. Well, that's the perfect look for you, Tony. Stay like that the rest of the show. You don't need to see your face. But real quick, and Ring of Honor, Kevin Steen and Sami Zayn battled each other and were a tag team champions. And Sami Zayn wore the mask that front row so graciously modeled as El Generico. And the story was when they finally broke up, and Sammy was on his way. Actually, Sammy was on his way to WWE. That El Generico was deported and sent back to the orphanage he came from in Mexico. So I always wanted to see him do some sort of a callback with that, but it may still happen one day, but not right now.
So El Generico is a Canadian lucha like Tyra Valkyrie, right?
Yeah, that's a way to describe it.
Okay.
I'd like to take this moment to talk about our sponsor, Slim Jim. You may not have heard. You may not have heard the 400 commercials on Sirius XM this week.
Yeah.
Did you hear the new sponsor? Little Leo.
Little Leo
Farrell won't eat a Slim Jim. That's why he keeps losing.
Right.
Little Leo's a winner. He loves Slim Jims.
Did you bring it up for the class?
He is savage.
Yeah.
Cody, you want to snap into a Slim Jim, bro?
Yes, I do. Yes, I
Here
do.
you go, bro. Take it. It's yours.
Thanks, brother.
You're
Wow.
welcome.
Wow, and it was half eaten in the transport. That's
Yes.
amazing.
Looked like you got nibbled
That's
on
good.
a little bit there in delivery, but
Gotta get that transporter technology fixed.
yeah. Don't worry, we'll edit it in post.
Yeah, no, give it back
Well,
to me. I
fell.
want a bite. Let me get a bite of that, man.
Oh
Nice.
yeah.
I work with children.
Yes, we do. We work with children.
Tag Dave in this clip.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Good. Still good.
So one thing I gotta ask you guys, like, because I'm a fan of a lot of the stuff that's going on, but some stuff doesn't hit with me right now. And at first, I thought the pairing of, or the teaming of Bobby Lashley with the Street Profits was a really cool move. They're all dressed up in the Hurt Business, like real, like, you know, the business attire and all that.
Mhm.
But it's just not digging. Like, I'm not connecting with it at all.
I'm not either.
I'm not this time because while I like the idea of it and the three of them together, it's almost like, okay, this is okay, this is cool, but we've seen it before.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen it all, you know, and we've seen basically a complete arc from basically beginning to end before. Now, you know, could it not be as good or as cool as that again? Well, sure, absolutely. But right now, it just kind of seems like it's spinning its wheels.
Yeah, I would agree. But to me, like, the moments and the stories and like the stuff that makes me happy that I get to watch and enjoy. I was very happy to see DIY reunite last week, and then if you were paying attention to socials, they started doing the Bobby Roode Glorious videos that they used to do. Oh my God, they're hilarious! And Bobby Roode obviously is a producer there, so he started playing along, and they've posted a couple of them. They're great.
Those were good videos.
Yes, but
it's a nice little callback.
Yes,
but then you have Imperium attacking them, so they're not. They had a moment to be fun and celebrate that, like, reunite moment, but now we've got Imperium on the scene, and those are some matches I'm definitely interested in.
That will be a banger.
Yes, and good that they got Johnny and Ciampa back together, because both of them, they're again, these are two guys that are absolutely phenomenal in ring. They could to use the old AJ Styles line, they could put over a broomstick. You know, they're phenomenal in ring, but have not had since coming up to the main roster, have not had the best story or anything going on with them. And I know Johnny was hurt for a little while and is coming back from it. So why not now? And knowing their history and everything in NXT, it seems like a natural fit, and I hope they run with it for a while, because I think both of them together can prove that they're, you know, can go way further than as they have as a single.
Yeah, and I wonder if that'll play into Survivor Series as we're still a ways out, but you'll start to see those teams come into focus in the next, 3 to 4 weeks, I guess.
Mhm.
Right.
So I want to shift gears just for a second. Full transparency, I didn't get you drive an automatic now, Tony.
I don't have to shift gears anymore. Yeah. Right. So, touche.
Lazy.
Yeah.
Old habits die hard, though.
That's right.
I
still
didn't
reach
get a
for
chance. That's a you problem.
Yeah. Just as long as you ain't reaching for mine.
Oh.
There goes the rating on this show.
Yes. Down.
Oh wait, we're not monetized. Doesn't matter. I didn't get a chance to see Dynamite because there was so much stuff to watch this week. But I read, some of the excerpts from it and looked like a really exciting show. But I was very, very happy this week to see Hikaru Shida capture that and AEW Women's Championship for the third time. I think she's the only 3-time champion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think all credit to Saraya. Like, I think she's a big name, and it was really cool that she got to win at Wembley. But for me, AEW is all about credibility in ring, and Hikaru Shida is one of the best wrestlers on the roster, bar none. So for me, the stories that they can tell and the matches that they can bring with her opens up a whole new set of options. So what are you guys thinking about this? And like, who do you want to see, in the ring with her?
Did you guys catch her? Did you catch her hand holding the bottom rope?
Yeah, a little bit of a heel move to get that strap. A
Uh-huh.
little bit of a heel move. But I have two different perspectives. Absolutely, great for Shida. I'm glad to see her at least have somewhat of a title run again, because remember, she was women's champion basically during COVID and the no fans or anything else. And the first time they were back out in front of fans, she dropped the title. So she never had that chance to be announced or have any kind of connection with the fans as champion. So absolutely great for her that she's getting this opportunity now.
Yes.
But I still can't help but think, because if we look at who's been champion in the past, Shida for now a third time, Jamie Hayter, Thunder Rosa, our good friend, and even Saraya now. It was a great, wonderful thing. Saraya winning, in her home country, all this and that, coming back from the injury, starting wrestling again, being able to wrestle again, but it didn't go anywhere. It just, it was like, yay.
Yeah.
And that's not that, but let me be absolutely 100% clear. That has nothing to do with the women's roster and the talent in AEW. That is, well, I guess when you have your head down in a big white pile, sometimes you don't realize or understand things. But I hope that they just in general, and I would say this for any of the women's roster that is going to be champion or come champion again, except for DMD, F her, that they give them something. Yes, it's great. They had this nice thing, the title swap and everything. But again, I don't want to see yet another, yay, title swap, and then. And then 6 months from now, they're putting the belt on somebody else.
Well, I think Tony Storm's ready for her close up, and
watch out.
Okay,
watch out for the shoe.
In the script.
So John is right. Like, okay, so for me, Tony Storm is doing stuff that's so entertaining right now with all of her backstage, the silent film vignettes. I don't need her near the title. Like, she's entertaining. She's doing some amazing stuff that I have to watch. It's incredible. I don't need her. Her story isn't more interesting to me with the title.
I just got to correct. I got to correct one thing.
I watched the picture in pictures.
Yeah, I just got to correct one thing. It's timeless, Tony.
Timeless, Tony.
Thank you.
He is timeless.
I just don't want you to have to watch out for the shoe. That's all. So I want to make sure that
Well, by the way, inspired by her, I'm gonna have my own T-shirt. Chins up, tits a flopping.
I can say you really can't do tits out at your age. Effectively, anyway. No, God, no. No. That image will haunt my dreams.
I got my finger on the remove button, Mike.
Oh man!
Wait a second. What? I was putting John over earlier. John bases Mrs. Front Row just a throw shoot. What'd I do?
She's there live too. You just might get this live.
We might just see one come in.
We're
gonna see a shoe flying across the screen.
Across the very,
I hope she has one of those giant Seth Clown shoes.
Well,
and it's gonna hit him and go.
You just see Front Row take it out, and you just see it go right out of the pitch.
I see that in my head, that big clown shoe coming in and making a sound like a squeaky toy you give your dog. Your dog when it hits him in the head.
Oh my God!
It would likely be a sandal.
With this?
I can handle a sandal.
Okay. You get the chancla.
Yeah, exactly.
And if that plastic hits on open skin, man, that little rubber thing hurts, man. That might feel close to a glute chop.
Hey, how do you guys feel about FTR losing the titles this week? Because for me, like, I'm a big fan of FTR. I think they're the most credible tag team in AEW, one of the best in the world. I don't understand the thinking here, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. It's another thrown together tag team beating an established top tier team.
I'm kind of 50-50 on that. I think that and you heard and read that Dax Harwood was hurt during the ring. That's why they decided to go home and change the finish. They had to do it.
I did not read that. I didn't know that.
Okay. I haven't heard anything official, but that definitely the way that match went and who they were with, that was the first impression I got, that there was an issue with Dax. Or
you guys.
No, I'm sorry.
You guys would know by watching the match. You might have an idea. You see how the ref is reacting to everything, and their actions. But also what I took away from that match was the look on Big Cass's Big Bill's face going up the ramp, turning around and looking at the crowd and holding the belt, and I just felt proud for the guy, because that's what that's what he's been working for, and he fell down from the top and climbed and fought his way back, and good for that guy, because the hill he climbed was way taller than he is. So
and I agree 100%. For me, like, a guy like Big Bill has come from adversity. He's overcome addictions pretty publicly. He's in such a good place. Personally, I don't know the guy. I've never met him. I think I saw him at a convention once, but I would have liked for him to team up with somebody and build a tag team and get those, because he's a really, really outstanding tag team wrestler. And he and Enzo obviously lit the world on fire for a period of time. So I wish I wish he had the opportunity to do it a little bit more intentionally, but I get what you're saying. Like, if there's an injury.
Oh, by the way, speaking of conventions and Big Cass, I implore you guys to go back and look at the pictures with Seth and Deb stand next to Enzo and Big Cass. First of all, Enzo towers over them, which is not to say much about. But
all right, wait a minute.
Like, he's almost out of the freaking frame.
Right. Well, like I said, to be fair,
he had to go panoramic and turn the camera sideways.
Yes, but to be fair, if they didn't do it that way, you would just saw the top of Deb and Seth's heads in that, and that's it. And then Enzo standing there next to Big Cass, because
it's an amazing photo.
Yes.
Also, on a side note, while we're talking about our crew, man, let's give a shout out, happy birthday to our one and only Stephen Wyand, the amazing, inspiring co-host of the Nation Sports Show and our show. And he's just an awesome dude. Happy birthday, brother. He celebrated his birthday a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have to apologize for Steven because we're all making gestures and happy rocker. Steven can't. That's not fair.
How does he know we're doing?
You know.
That's why I gave the shout out, Steven. These morons here. Morons!
And out of dedication to Steven, I have one thing to do.
Yeah, you gotta turn that off, or we're gonna get this pulled.
No.
Steven, if you remember the first time we met, you were in the lobby in the hotel, and I came up to you behind you, and I had Blacken playing. You know how it fades up, and you knew right away that was me. That's my lasting memory with you, man, and I'll always remember that. So happy belated birthday, bro.
Yeah, man. All right, the last thing I wanted to talk about was the thing that I didn't want to talk about, but we have to talk about. Twitter was an interesting place this week, and two things. Let me start with the softball first. I saw today or yesterday, I forget when it was. Billy Corgan made this statement. He was doing an interview, and NWA reposted it, and he blasted Dave Meltzer. I was like, wow, I was genuinely surprised because Billy Corgan tends to be just sort of above it all and just doing his head down, doing his own thing. He doesn't really feed into all that, but he made some pretty strong statements, and it's on the NWA Twitter and on their socials. So go check it out and just sort of judge for yourself where he's headed with it. But I thought it was interesting that he was very critical of Meltzer and his opinions versus the opinions of people who are actually in-ring performers and running the business. So I have my own thoughts on that, but I really need to I need to think about it later because I just saw it like an hour or two ago and I was like, whoa, those are big words from William Patrick Corgan.
Yeah,
so.
right.
Just put it in your drafts, front row. Put it in your drafts.
And then don't send it.
Right. Yeah.
I think we all learned this week that the trick is to don't hit tweet.
Right.
Don't even keep it in the drafts because you might get even more pissed off later and send it anyway. So
and add to it.
Hit the back arrow.
And another thing.
Do like I do.
And another thing.
Listen, trust me, I've done it on Facebook for years. You get up with piss and vinegar. Yeah. Before you have a sip of coffee, you're pissed off. You're writing shit. I've had soliloquies written out. I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna think I'm a madman, and I am a madman. But that's it. You just hit the back arrow. Get rid of it.
Hit delete. Delete.
Yeah. So it was interesting to watch in real time. I think that my personal opinion, not reflecting the opinions of anybody else, I think as a corporate leader, maybe be more intentional about how you represent your company on social media. But
yeah, I don't think there's anybody that really disagrees with that.
Okay, well, a quick segue, talking about being professional or unprofessional on Twitter this week, especially Monday night leading into Tuesday, talking about the head and owner of a company basically engaging the trolls. What Billy Corgan did, regardless if it's truthful or not or whatever, ain't nothing in comparison to what good old TK was doing.
Oh yeah, no.
I mean, and you know, we have made this comment amongst ourselves quite often. Sometimes somebody should take away Tony Khan's phone and say, no, you're not tweeting today. Because sometimes it just doesn't work out well.
Does he talk? I wonder if he talks shit like what's his team? The football team he's got? The football team?
The Jaguars.
Fulham. You're talking about Fulham.
Fulham.
Yeah, Fulham. Like and the Jacksonville and the football and the football team.
Right.
Does he talk shit on their Twitter accounts? Like,
I don't think he has access to those socials.
Yes. Yeah. Apparently. I'm thinking that his
Unfortunately.
association with those is basically by name only. There's no real power or anything behind it.
I have no idea. I was genuinely surprised watching it. I mean, it shouldn't come as a shock. This has happened before, but hopefully some people with more knowledge got and put a bug in his ear, and maybe it won't happen anymore. But
Yeah.
How about just slap the phone out of his hand? You know,
I don't think there's anybody that's way bigger than us. Has a different opinion. So he could have stayed away. Was it the worst thing? No, but is it something that you expect a CEO of any company? I mean, I know it's wrestling, but at some point it's
yeah,
right.
It's a little much, but whatever. I mean, he made hey, he popped at least 2,500 people. So
Right.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
And he gave some Twitter troll and all 13 of his followers really something to talk about on their message boards and chat rooms. So
Yeah,
true. Well, my friends, it is almost time for Collision, and even though I didn't get a chance to watch all of AEW this week, Collision is my favorite AEW show. They're telling good stories. The in-ring's cohesive. The pacing of the show.
There's an old school feel to it, isn't there? Like that beginning where they're doing those pre-taped promos that like it reminds me of like Saturday night's main event. The way they kind of did that kind of, you know what I mean? Like each guy facing the other guy has their own say.
But everything gets to
get it, blah blah blah.
Everything gets to breathe on the show. Like they don't hit it back to back to back. They give you a moment to just absorb what you just saw, and then they lean you into the next thing. And I'm like, I just feel like for me, it's more digestible. It's more fun.
In my opinion, I like the live Collision on Saturday better than the pre-taped Rampage. I look forward to Collision and Dynamite. I don't really look forward to Rampage because I know it's just already taped and I mean, it could be good, but usually it's just an hour. But Collision has 2 hours, and it's
right. So does Dynamite, and Rampage. Let's face it, Rampage is an hour long, and it's 10 to 12 pounds of shit trying to be stuffed into a 5-pound bag.
Yeah, extended an hour and give it to ROH. Oh, that'd be
cool. How dare you, sir? How dare you talk?
Fans will go later.
Hey, I'm all for ROH getting some TV time. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to say something. Also, for those of you that don't know, if you have Fight Plus, MLW Slaughterhouse is starting right now as well.
Mm-hmm.
You got some really good matchups on there. That's about it. I mean, last night Caps Pro Creative Pro show was awesome. I got to meet Chris Statlander. I said her name right. Yes, I'm only playing when I say her name wrong.
Right.
Well, not all the time.
But hey, Mama came home.
Mama came home. I got to meet Mama. I got to say hi to Sabu outside smoking a cigarette.
I saw that picture with you in the TBS Championship.
Yes.
Yeah. And that.
What's up, Billy? Ali Mona's here from Bet Online, coming to you live.
That's about it. Oh, look at that.
Okay. On that note, let's go around the room. Tony, where can people find you on the socials?
At Tony Justice AJFA. And if you're a Metallica fan, like I know we all are, you know what that means. Ooh, and I'm going to snap it to a Slim Jim one more time.
Yeah.
Hey, John, how about you?
I am, as it says, I don't do the finger thing because I never get it right. I am at Twisted Metal Fab on the X/Twitter and the Instagram. And just one quick, so much went on this week with wrestling, from the independents all the way up. One thing I do quickly just want to point out, if you're not watching Impact Wrestling, number one, you're wrong, and you need to correct that. Two, if you have the chance, absolutely see the blow-off match of the feud that Frankie Kazarian and Eddie Edwards have been having. They finally paid it off this week, and it is an absolutely brutal, physical, but amazing match. If you don't watch anything else on Impact, and I'm sure they have clips of it, watch that match because it was absolutely amazing.
Awesome. All right, Mike, how about you?
I'm at Mongrovian Mike. That's it. You can see me at the shows. The local shows have been wild. Last night was the Cap Pro show. Tonight was VPW Hallowed Ground. So I'm not there tonight. I would have been there slapping Leo with a Slim Jim. They turned on our girl Gabby last night, and it was a whole mess. Chris Statlander pinned Gabby, but then they beat up Gabby, the Birds of the Sun, and they took it to him. And congratulations to the new Cap Pro champ, Evil Gay, Aaron Rourke. The dime piece, hashtag dime piece, man. He did it. He pinned Bryce Donovan. And congratulations to that young man. And he is awesome. And he's evil and he's gay. And that's that.
Okay. I like it. And I am PW Front Row across all the socials. You can also find me on our Mission Pro Wrestling Unmatched. Typically, we're on Thursdays. This week, we're doing a special Wednesday show with a special guest, as most of us will be traveling on Thursday to San Antonio for the pay-per-view. So make sure you check us out, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern, on the Mission Pro YouTube channels. Folks, thanks everybody for joining.
Wait. One thing. Also, I know I told you you're all wrong if you didn't watch Impact. If you do not have Title Match Network, you're wrong again, and you need to fix that. Why? Because it is the official home for live streaming and almost all of the video catalogs for both Capital Championship Wrestling and Mission Pro Wrestling, and especially with their showing coming up next Saturday. You have a week, people. That is your homework.
$10.
Get signed up. Sign up and get on Title Match Network.
Try for a month.
Thanks, John, for that aggressive marketing. Y'all have a good night.